Here for the guide for Ornstein and Smough, are you? Well, you've come to the right place. But we'll also be showing you where Havel's set, armour, that is, weapon, shield, where the smith is, because we'll need him. Where to summon Solaire to make the fight a little bit easier in some ways. Yeah, and then obviously we'll show you where to fight, how to fight them as well towards the end of the video. Welcome to Smash Games, and this is Dark Souls Remastered, Part 12. And right there, we've got Solaire. Now, if you've talked to him before the Hellkite, he will there and then used him for the gargoyles. He should just appear there as well. So, theory, you can also summon him before the Gaping Dragon. That's the other thing. So, but I'm not 100% sure if you need to just summon him. I'm pretty sure you just have to talk to him. There are other NPCs you got to do other little things for, like our Sigmarder of Katarina. But anyway, I digress. Welcome to the Silver Knights. One of the biggest pains of butt in ever. And, you know, but if you can parry them, you're pretty set for this area, to be honest. I do absolutely struggle at times. Just because when I was actually playing this bit probably about a month back before I actually started recording. I started recording a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, it was at least 6 weeks ago. Let me get my facts straight. At the time, I got used to parrying these guys, both sword, spear, yeah. So, and now I'm, obviously missing. I'm having to reattempt, run away, heal. I do in fact even die a couple of times because I just keep fucking around. But it's welcome to Souls. Anyway, yeah. So, but obviously, now here we go. Here's our first little thing. So that secret little chimney section. What's it called? Anyway, walk right into the corner. That is a mimic, you can tell by the straight chain. And the other 4 chests are the Dragon Tooth, Havel's shield, great shield, and his armor set. Now, at this point I do realise I don't actually have Havel's ring, but we will... I do take care of that in the next video, at least that. And the grass shield, and a couple other little fun things. Anyway, we're just healing up to take care of him because honestly, they do have quite a bit of health, and they can be a shitty enemy once they actually get up. But I mean, if you can 90% kill them before they even get up, you're doing pretty well. Because yeah, at this stage of the game, with the equipment spells, we should be able to take care of 90%, 80% of their health, or even just kill them, really, and make it look fun at the same time. Now, we do pick up the Occult Club. Now, there's quite a bit of utility. It is quite handy, particularly in your first game playthrough. So if you downgrade it from Occult to Divine, so basically this is like a +6 weapon. But as I said, if you downgrade it, it'll go back to a Divine, which will be a +5 Divine weapon, which is particularly handy, especially against the skeletons in the catacombs and other creepy crawlers, mostly the skeletons, to be honest. It just stops their, reviving effect from the stupid necromancers. But, ideally, once you kill the necromancers, they're not really as bad inherently, just like any other enemy. But yeah, it also has... Also, this is a mimic, and the chest on the other side is also a mimic. Now, the weapon in itself, in its current state, is really good against the Silver Knights, the Black Knights, the Sentinels, and the Royal Sentinels, which is the really, really big knights. The 2 Royal Sentinels are the one just before Ornstein and Smough. So, it's also particularly good against Ornstein and Smough, and Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. Gwyn is our final, technically he is the final boss, even though after the DLC release, what's he called? called? Because you got 3 more bosses in that area as well. But anyway, I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, I want to keep explaining the occult weapon, because basically it's an auxiliary effect. It's not like the weapon is not called the occult weapon. The occult what do you call it? Club. Like, it's not the occult club. So it's just that the club has an auxiliary effect. It's like if it was an enchanted club or a divine club, they're effects. So, and the idea is that it's applying a debuff to certain enemies, which is particularly good against. The other one is Dark Sun Gwendolyn, which we will be facing soon as well. So yeah, here's one of the moments where I died. And look at that, just like magic! Yay! Anyway, also really good against Paladin Leroy. This is in its current state as an occult weapon, by the way, not as a divine. But, you know, realistically, that divine amber that we picked up just after the Moonlight Butterfly, that's what you want to get a divine weapon. But I'm pretty confident you need at least some green Titanite to be able to do that, which you can get farm from the slugs down there before the giant tree in Blighttown. Particularly handy for that section. And although sometimes it can be a bit hard to farm them, once you do actually start to get them, you get 5 at a time. So, you know, you're pretty set after a couple of times. Anyway, what I'm saying is, if you don't want to sacrifice the occult club, because realistically you need the dark amber to make an occult club. And the only way to get that is by going into the painting that I've mentioned before. I just did a bit of a little search up myself because, like I said, I don't know everything. So, apparently it also pairs well with Priscilla's dagger, Velka's rapier, and the dark hand. Priscilla's dagger you can only get by cutting off the tail of Priscilla. It's probably one of the hardest tails to knock off in the game. Velka's rapier is, well, from memory you picked that up only in the painting world, so there you go. And the dark hand you don't really pick up until New Lonndo Ruins, which, you know, that watery place we skipped over where all the ghosts are. Pardon me. At the very start of this guide. But, yeah, so basically you need the Dark Amber to make it an occult weapon. But you've already got an occult weapon. So it's theoretically easier just to keep it, get the Divine Amber from the top of the tower from the Moonlight after the Moonlight Butterfly, and then make your divine weapon. That's just my recommendation. I'm not, you know, take it or leave it. Oh, and obviously, yeah, back to the game a little bit. You can clip enemies through walls, as you can tell, and doors. So, can be a little effective. Especially because in this next room, there's actually 3 Silver Knights. And so, they're okay. Like, there's ways of dealing with them, but, like, this is probably a bit more effective than, you know, running in at first. We were lucky. We got the Silver Knight shield. Probably the second best medium shield, other than the Black Shield. The Black Knight shield, I should say. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, third best shield in the game, to be honest. Like, yeah, so you got Havel's is basically, it is the best. It has the highest defenses across. It's got like 90 to 95% across the board of all defenses, 100% block. It even has a 2-handed ability, which also hardens you more. Better armor, I should say. Yeah, so the occult. Look, as I was saying, if you're in the first NG part of the game, first part of the first run, the occult weapon, particularly upgraded, is very good against, especially against all these enemies in this section, all of them. So if you are planning that, you are more than welcome to. I personally have already invested, you know, that time into that weapon there particularly. Otherwise, I'm still going with the halberd and lightning, which I will be showing you a fully upgraded halberd in the next video. that will also give you the trophy for the lightning. Essentially, I'm pretty confident. Yeah, so all the different aspects. So like chaos, fire, occult, so dark amber, divine, enchanted, electricity, and there's one more. I can't think of the top of my head. But anyway, you get the idea. So all that, even just a standard weapon upgraded to max, so plus 15, they will all give you a trophy. Anyway, we're starting to make our way through. I did cut down this area quite a bit because unfortunately I did actually die quite a few times because I hadn't played through here in like 6 to 7 weeks, so it was really fucking fun. Not. Anyway, but, you know, you guys get to see the results. You get to see the fun, the struggles, the heartache. Just not hearing how absolutely fucking frustrated I was during that gameplay. Like, seriously, this was closer to an hour, and I've brought it down to 28 minutes approximately. So, you're welcome. Anyway, Silver Knight set. It is pretty decent. There is the bronze armor set, which we'll pick up after not Gwendolyn. It's no, maybe it is Gwendolyn. It is, yeah, Gwendolyn. Yeah, and yeah, the bronze set. It's by far one of the lighter armor sets, as well as just being particularly good. Particularly before there's another armor set we can get in the DLC, which is also pretty good for a full armor set. It's then that one will be the lightest in terms of quality. So anyway, we're running back through. So in Smash Games fashion, will be fast forwarding quite a bit at times. So just so you're aware, if I don't pick up speed very quickly for no reason, because that's intentional. And I'll be asking you to slowly let go of your finger off that like button for me. Well, I would appreciate you doing that. But yeah, if you could share, subscribe, I would appreciate it. It really helps me and the channel. And yeah, thank you. So yeah, we're making our way through. We're making our way through into the main chamber, hall, if you will, that leads up to them. Essentially, where Ornstein and Smough are is essentially the throne area. So where Gwyn used to sit along with his son and daughter, being Gwendolyn and Guinevere. The names do orientate from like an old like Celtic and other divisions. Like I can't remember off the top of my head. Sorry, I like history. It's not my specialty, but yeah, it's quite interesting how they drew a bunch of names from mythology and Celtic and stuff like that, and that's was their inspiration for a whole bunch of these characters in that respect. So yeah, Dragon Slayer bow, particularly a good weapon, especially if you want to be using that against Calamite, which is a optional boss in the DLCs. The Uluside areas, essentially. But, yeah, anyway, I digress. So, yeah, right here, just behind me, in fact, is our next smith. Now, there is an amber that we have collected for him. I don't think we picked it up here just yet. We actually pick it up a bit later, but I could be wrong. I'm just trying to remember off the recordings. But anyway, the point being, we need him to upgrade our halberd to max, and especially a few others. And he's also the key smith in terms of boss souls and getting their weapons or armor. So he's, yeah, very necessary. So if you want any boss weapons, I just saying, don't kill him. Don't kill him. It's not worth it. It's not really worth to kill any of the smiths. Let's be fucking real here. But anyway. Oh yeah, the Hornet Ring. I think that's the one that gives you crit. You get extra critical damage, essentially. Yeah, so he sells Green Titanite, large and regular Titanite shards, as well as twinkling. He also has the giant halberd and the giant shield. The giant, I think it's both. The giant shield and the giant halberd are actually necessary to get the all rare weapons collection for the trophy. So that's to say, it's like essentially 10 to 15 rare weapons, as well as basically every boss weapon and shield and whatever. So to get basically to get a platinum trophy in this game, you need to run through this game at least 2.5 times. So what I mean by that is, finish the game completely, go back through it, make sure you kill all the optional bosses that you actually need for it, and then by the time you kill Sith, the big wolf, for the 3rd time, then you'll be able to complete it. I know it because I've already done it. So I do have a bit of a story for that one. Years ago, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that'll be fun. When someone says years ago, fuck. Yeah, just these guys aren't so bad as long as you can hug their ass and just dodge their their weapon. So the only real pain is the fact when they slam the shield down, and if they clip you, the other thing is they heal. Oh, and they have an AoE effect as well, so that's particularly painful. Anyway, back to my story. So a few years ago, when I was attempting the platinum run for this Dark Souls 1, I got everything, all but one. And that one item, which was one of the broken weapons. So those you can usually get from the essentially the first enemies you even come across that don't even attack you in the asylum to start with. But yeah, those and in the before the Undead Parish, so the Undead Burg. Yeah, so you get their broken weapons essentially. And there's a couple of different kinds. There's a broken hilt and the broken sword. I had already done one, and I was doing the other one. I even cross-referenced and cross-checked it because I had a fucking checklist. And somewhere along the line, I made the mistake, and I did the wrong one. Which meant that, you know, being halfway through an NG plus 2, meant that I then lost the opportunity to then get the platinum, which meant I then had to play through NG plus 3. That's right. You have to get everything on the same character. So I had to play through all over again. And at that point, I wasn't... Well, I was fucking pissed, I'll put it that way, but... yeah. I didn't rage quit specifically, I just fucking gave up. I just gave up. At that point, I was just like, nah, fuck it. And then just other things happened, and... yeah. Anyway, that's my story. That's my story at the Platinum Run attempt. So, yeah. Now, we're just making our way through. So I figured I'd give you guys a story because, you know, this section can be a little bit boring. It's kind of hard to fill it up with all the information you could ever have. Yeah. Mind you, at the time, I was around the time when I was actually watching other players on YouTube, getting all those ideas, shortcuts, tricks, ideas, cheeses, all that sort of shit. So, and at the time, I was also doing a guide for this. So that was probably about 7-8 years ago now. But unfortunately, I only got a few episodes in because basically it was in the middle of summer. I had a shitty laptop at the time, and it kept fucking dying on me. So I ended up yeeting it after a few months because it just fucking collapsed on itself. Let's just put it that way. From overheating and shit like that. Even though I had actually tried to fix it with replacing the battery and stuff, it was just a shit laptop. It was at the time when they released E-Machine, which was like a subsidiary company for like Acer or something. Anyway, Not a good brand. Don't recommend. Well, I don't know now, but at the time it was shit. Anyway. Yeah, so really hot. I was using like an Elgato capture, all that sort of shit off the PS3. Yeah, so... And I made... Like, I did a 100% run of Jak and Daxter, a platinum run. That's still there on YouTube. You can still actually look at that. Even though it was under a different name. So you'll hear me quoting the different name. My original name was Power Boom on this channel. But I think over time... I never fully liked the name I gave myself, which is kind of stupid. But, you know, it happens. And hence why I actually changed it for coming back into it now, into Smashed Games. So, but that is why there is still a bomb on my profile, or a picture of a bomb. That actual picture that's still there at the moment was an edited picture off not Adobe, the basic art editor off Windows. So. Yeah, that was fun. It's not actually that bad in hindsight. It's just, you know, it's not great. I'm not that proud. I was proud of it at the time. Not so much now. Not since I've been using like GIMP and bloody Las Vegas Pro, and they've just swapped to bloody. I just actually swapped editors a little while ago as well. However, I'm not actually using those editors just at the moment. I'm actually using something else. Come on, load. I do love having my profile pictures. So I've got one of the main Demon Slayer photos, as well as oh man, God, getting distracted. And I probably should be talking about the game. I'm so sorry, guys. Anyway, I digress. So, oh, there it is. DaVinci Resolve. So as of this year, 2022, this is by far the best free software for video editing. However, it does have a steep learning curve, but they have all their videos on their website so that you can actually go through and watch / listen / learn. So, but yeah, no, that's fun. Especially for anyone out there that's wanting to make YouTubes and stuff. I know I'm not that good at it still. You know, I'm progressively getting better. I'm trying. Oh yeah, here's Solaire. Ding ding. He helps in his own way. He's like the wingman. That never showed up. Anyway, getting on with it. So yeah, we are now looking at Ornstein and Smough. Prepare for a montage of, I'm going to call it a death. You know, when you die, death, T-H, D-E-A-T-H, a death reel. If you don't know what a reel is what you used to shove into your older cameras and take photos with. And then you take the reel and you used to get it made up so you can get photos. There you go. No, I'm not that old. Well, kind of sort of old enough to know some of that shite, but yeah. Anyway. So yeah, my death reel, you know, I don't even think I did a count. I might edit that. If I have done so, I'd basically, yeah, it's you'll see. You'll see. So at the moment I'm basically swapping in and out, testing around to see what will give me a light roll essentially, because I've swapped to the silver shield, as you can see. Ultimately, I do put back on the gold plate robes and like the shorts / legs for the red robes. It's funny, there's 4 knights originally. Smough is actually the executioner, and it is actually really quite funny that they're fighting together. There's a whole backstory. Vadi Vita, if you haven't heard of that by now, you should go check him out. Has a lot of good content on all the lore and stuff, particularly his Prepare to Cry edition. Now, most of the time you can make pretty easy work out of one of them, depending on the one you pick, so long as Solaire is actually baiting one. Sometimes none, sometimes both, so it just depends. Like, he's pretty tanky, but they also hit pretty hard, as you can tell. But at this stage, so essentially, one of the trophies is killing both of them. In fact, you need to kill both of them to get both of the weapons to go towards that platinum trophy, just so you're aware. Anyway, this is the Smough, my apologies, Smough super build, if you will, super tanky, super thick. But a few times it's, and that's just the way, it's just a clip being on the wrong timing, rolling the wrong way, and you know, it's also the lightning AoE that he's got as well. If you time it just right, you can dodge it so that you're dodging above it, or rolling over it, but yeah, as you can see. There's one. Come back. So yeah. Yeah, just like that. See, that and that. That is what can be really infuriating. Just, you can have a full health bar and still get fucked over. Now, as you can see here, I've actually swapped armors over, like I said before. I'm back to the grey and the red bottom there with the cloth. And at this point, I'm not even using the shield because, yeah, I don't even really have enough stamina to really block. For Ornstein, yes. Smough, not so much. Ornstein does make a comeback in the DS in Dark Souls 2, by the way, as a minor boss, unfortunately. Kind of a shame. Would have been nice to see him in a bit more grandeur, but like, you got to think that it's passed a lot of time from 1 to 2. So that's the theory. There's also a lot of debate at the moment with Elden Ring on whether or not it is the prequel to Dark Souls, as in it's the world before Dark Souls, essentially. Because you got a reference to the Tarnished from Gwendolyn when you go and approach him. There was also another reference to, oh my god, I just heard it recently too, and I can't remember what it was. Should have written it down. It had something to do with a particular weapon, I want to say. But yeah, anyway, it's funny because the one character that makes it come back is Patches. Patches is in every game, Demon Souls included. Except, well, you know, except for Sekiro and Bloodborne, but all the main Souls lines, Demon and Ring. Anyway, as you can see, this is where Solaire does really start to help, because he just draws and baits, and yeah, helps immensely. Anyway, thank you for watching, listening. I know this was a long video. But yeah, we'll continue. I'll see you next time. Bye.